Greetings, my Israelite brothers and sisters, heirs, joint heirs, adopted, grafted. Um, just want to come to you for a few minutes so you'll know what's going to be going on over the next Bible study and some of the car cams for this week. So I titled this World History Substantiates the Bible. World History Substantiates the Prophets. I guess that's a better way of saying it, and that's the way I should title it. World History Substantiates the Prophets. I'm just waiting for a few of you all to come inside the view room, and then I'm going to get started. World history substantiates the prophets. You know, um, what makes a prophet authentic, and what makes a prophet what makes a prophet credible is that I'm talking about over time. Is that prophets can say something that would happen years to come once you understand Bible prophecy, especially when they've said it before the events took place. Some of the things that the prophets have stated and they have brought prophetic word to have occurred hundreds of years after them, and in some cases, most cases, uh, thousands of years into the future. So the prophet Daniel, the prophet Ezekiel, the prophet Isaiah, Ezra, um, and pretty much Joel, these prophets prophesied on things in their day as well as hundreds of years before and thousands of years afterwards. And you, in order to substantiate what they say, is to really go back and look at prophecy to see if it really did occur. Most cases, in all cases that I've read in the scriptures, it has occurred, except for the things that are to come. So when they have been credible over time and those things took place, then you know what is to come will more than likely come. So this week, on maybe tonight, I'm not for sure. How you doing, Sister Kay? How you doing, Sister Susan? I'm going to be going into the 70 weeks of Daniel, and I may do that tonight. So tune in. I think tonight will be a good night to do the 70 weeks of Daniel. And I'm going to pull out a calculator. I'm going to try to have some slides pre-done where you can understand the 70 weeks. A lot of people talking about the 70 weeks of Daniel, the 70 weeks of Daniel. But I want you to clearly understand the 70 weeks of Daniel. How you doing, Sister Laughter? So tonight I'm going to cover the 70 weeks of Daniel. Just made that decision with you all on here right now. Alondab, how you doing? So tonight, tune in, hit that bell, and I'm going to do the 70 weeks of Daniel. I'm going to shorten it. I'm going to shorten the lesson and just bring in the calculations of the 70 weeks of Daniel. I think that's the best way to kind of name the subject. The calculations of the 70 weeks of Daniel, what it all means and stuff like that. And then I can do some other things with it later. But I want to bring in so that when people talk about it, you have a very good idea of what it means, what the subject is all about, and what have you. Um, and this is a good subject. This would be a good lesson tonight to give you understanding on what I titled this World History Substantiated uh, by the Prophets. or it should be the world prophets substantiated by world history. Um, and it can go back and forth because what happens is even with Nebuchadnezzar's dream, you know, we can prove that that took place the way it's four nations, what Daniel saw, and you could substantiate it by just simply going to prophecy or world history to see if it in fact took place. And that this may be something I'm going to be on for the month. I believe that's the direction that we want to go. I talked to my brother, um, Elder Robert Johnson. He's going to be up on it. Brother J.D. Israel, he's going to be up on it. We were on this week. We were doing a test. I took the test down, by the way. We were doing a test, and we went live to just test some of the features that we're working on, the software and all like that. So I want to thank all of you all that do Patreon, or your prayers, or both, which whenever you do, because we're getting things where there can be more of a professional format, but also so that when we go to certain scriptures or PowerPoints, they're effective. They're there for you to use it. So I am also exploring other options. Uh, and what I do is I look at other people programs, their platforms. I look at what they're doing. And one thing that is nice is that because we have you all as subscribers in your prayers and the amount of subscribers that we have, I can reach out to people, tell them who I am, and they give me free advice. And they are very grateful that we called, and they want to be helpful to ministry by sharing information and best practices with us. And so that's one of the things that we want to do. By the way, I told you all that we were going to have an app from our congregation here in South Florida. The app is complete. It's going through, it's already passed Android review. Now it's going through Apple review. And once it passed Android, but it's going through Apple. Apple takes a little bit longer. I'm going to give you all that information. We want you to download the app, all of our subscribers to download the app, because there's certain lessons that's on there that you can get anytime. Anytime that you're talking to people, you want a lesson on the Sabbath, you can bring up the app and you could share that video lesson with them. If there's an app, um, eating clean and Christmas. Sometimes when you talk to people, you can just send them a video and tell them to listen to it at their leisure, and it has most of the information that you're trying to convey to them. But a lot of times it could be on a 10-minute break and you don't have enough time, and you can tell people to look at this at their leisure. So we built the app with having the subscribers in mind as to, what the app could be best used for. And so we conducted some informal surveys and kind of got feedback. And of course, when you develop an app, you're going to always be getting feedback and surveys and what's best for the app. So when it rolls out, of course, it's not going to be the top, final production, but it's a start. So we're going to be adding different features to the app. We're going to be always keeping you all as subscribers because um, we're here to serve you. We're here to provide the educational tools that you need. And if there's any subjects that you would like for us to cover, we're going to have even a suggestion component. But you can always send me an email and just say, "Hey, Pastor, can you do a 15-minute lesson on head covering? Why should we wear head covering when we go inside the congregation?" Or can you do a 15, 20-minute lesson on marriage, whatever. So we're going to have that ability and capability to do things like that because, again, we want to have a platform that we're providing a service and the right tools for you. If you want something on prayer, we'll do a quick video and a lesson on prayer. It's going to be a professional format. So we've got the production company in place. There's a production company. These guys are awesome. I just can't say enough about them. They came right in. They are willing to help any way that they can. They bring in their cameras, all digital, their lighting. They do everything. And let me just say this, they do not charge me a dime. They don't charge me a dime. I just have to be prepared because I try to respect their time. So I have like a little monitor where everything's rolling. Um, and what it is getting staffing on my end for people to hold up the cue cards or the iPad where things are flipping, going to the next one, so I'll know what to say. And then the editing always takes, but they've done that too. They've done the editing, but I think in house we have enough people now that even if we got just a video, we have enough people that can edit. And we have a team. We have some of these people are in college for journalism and marketing, so they know how to look at certain things and help us out. So, but that's what the app is going to be bringing forth. So we really want to take the education and the awareness to a level that we are serving our subscribers and members so that on this app you can have everything that you need. And especially when you're witnessing to others, sharing information and knowledge to others, it's all right there. Just little quick little stuff. And those little 15-minute lessons will go a long way. Some of them, they can't be 15 minutes. They're 30 because we try to keep in, when you're doing the lesson, somebody might say, well, what about this or what about that? And what we do is we attack the hardest ones first, and the hard questions. Like if we do one on pork, we do something like, let's go right to Mark 7. Let's go right to Timothy 2:14. I think it's First Timothy. Yeah, let's go right where it says every creature God is good. Let's go right to Peter's dream. Let's go right to there's nothing. It's not what goes in. It's what comes out. We go right to those things that we know somebody's going to throw at you, and we dispel those scriptures and stuff like that right away. Uh, so we try to get a lot out of it. And so that when you are talking to people, you'll have it. Boom. You can just drop the note to them. Um, a lot's going on. I've been looking at, as before I do leave, don't forget tonight we're going to be doing the 70 weeks of Daniel. That's going to be tonight. I want to so hit the bell button, look for it. Probably around the 7:30, 8 o'clock mark. We're going to be dropping that knowledge tonight. 70 weeks of Daniel. We're going to be doing a lot of calculations. So I'm not going to go into the whole. I'm just going to go into the brief foundation of the 70 weeks, why it became 70 weeks, and then I'm going to go straight into the calculations of the significance understanding of what does the 70 week mean? What was the purpose? Why was Daniel given this particular number? What is the calculation? What is the total? And what happened during that time period? And then we're going to have to go into the history book, have to go into world history so that you can understand and appreciate the 70 weeks of Daniel. So we're going to do that tonight. So please do tune in. I'm going to be maybe doing the car cam a little bit later on, talking about the same thing, what we're going to be doing tonight. I don't know. I'm way up in West Palm Beach, Florida for a week, driving back and forth from Fort Lauderdale to West Palm Beach. It's like an hour and 15-minute drive. So um, I do have some time, except I've been making the car my office. I've been making phone calls, been talking to various people. I can't drop the number right now because I don't have the ability to put it in there. But the 800 number, if anybody ever just wanted to call, ask questions, I have an open door policy like that, an open phone policy. And that's 1-833, the number 4, and the word Bethel. That's 1-833, the number 4, and the word Bethel, Bethel. Um, and you can call. The calls will be routed. They always route it to the congregation, and then from there they'll look at whether it's because it's became our primary number now, and they'll know whether or not it's for me or business for the local congregation. But if it's for me, they'll route it to me, and they have it where it comes directly to the phone. So we'll be able to get you'll be able to get me. If I can take the call, I'll take it. But if not, I definitely will call you back within the hour. So, but most of the times I try to get off my phone calls and take that call. So that's 1-833, the number 4, and the word Bethel. All that being said and done, in case I don't tune in tonight, don't get on the car cam later, I will be on tonight, and we're going to be talking about the 70 weeks of Daniel, the calculations. We're going to do a little math, we're going to do a little history, and we're going to show you some things that you should know. At least the next time somebody talks about the 70 weeks of Daniel, you can say, "Oh yeah, I know what that is." So that's what we're going to do tonight. So all that being said, done. Peace, and we'll talk to you soon.